Hi, I'm Ross. Day job work on the railway, and this weekend I'm hosting the Leeds Pedal Show at Northern Monk. I'm not from Leeds. I spent 33 years in Essex. You can probably tell from a Danny Dyer accent. A friend of mine moved up to Leeds about 5 years ago, and I used to come and visit him and really enjoyed it, really liked the city. And me and my partner made the decision 2 years ago to move up. There's a fantastic music scene in Leeds, but there's not really a sort of social circle for band members and musicians and things like that to get together. So I wanted to put something on that could bring people together, give people the opportunity to play with pedals, have a beer and go from there. And a lot of these guys, you can't buy them in shops. So if you do go to your local PMT, you can't try a lot of these pedals. So I wanted to bring them to somewhere where you can get hands-on with them. So we're at Northern Monk Refectory. This is a really old mill in Holbeck in Leeds. It's a listed building. It's really cool. You've got a brewery on the ground floor, bar on the second floor, and then the function room is on the top floor, which is where we're holding the show. Planning the event has taken me probably about 10 months since the idea was conceived. To be honest, I owe a lot of it to some of the guys up there now because they're all so approachable. Like, it's such a friendly community of these pedal builders, and I just reached out to them. I'm a nobody. I'm not a pedal builder. I'm a cover band guitarist and I work on the railway. And I reached out to them and just said, I've got this idea. If you get 5 minutes, can you just read these notes I've made on it and give me your thoughts, please? And Phil at Bleak District, he come back to me, Matt at Goliath. So I just chatted to these guys and said, you know, what do you look for going to a show? And collated all those ideas and then tried to find a venue where we could make it work. And from there, it was just a question of trying to be organised. Ultimately, it will be feedback from the exhibitors. I want them to be happy. Some of them have travelled a long way. You know, Angus has come down from Glasgow. We've got Dave from Great Eastern has come up from Cambridge. Andy from Funny Little Boxes come from Norwich. You know, I want them to feel that it's been worth their effort. And also the people that are coming and trying stuff out. I mean, generally everyone's smiling and happy. So first impressions are that it's going well. But if I get some feedback from people in the coming weeks, and then we'll make a decision as to whether we're going to do the same event next year or we're going to grow it. If I had a magic wand next year, you can tell I've been thinking about this, would look slightly bigger, potentially like 25, 30 exhibitors, because there were a few who couldn't make it this year that I would have liked to have been here. It would look like food trucks in the courtyard, like a coffee roasters, a vegan food truck, maybe a hog roast and a pizza food truck and things. It would be more of a, dare I say it, like a small pedal festival, maybe a bit of music as well.
Hi, this is David from Great Eastern Effects, and this is the XO pedal, XO variable crossover. So the idea here is your signal comes into the pedal, and the crossover splits it into high frequencies and low frequencies. And the two halves are sent to two different effects loops, and they're mixed back together. And it means that you can have different effects on the highs and lows, or just use one at a time. One of my favourite things at the moment is to play with different octave effects on the highs and lows, and then with this little button here you can swap them over, so you can have an octave down on the lows, octave up on the highs, and then swap them over, so you're having the two octaves are crossing over. The designer drive came out of thinking about the way that most overdrives are designed, and the fact that someone like me, who's the pedal designer, gets to decide how much low end to leave in, where the mid-range peak is, what the highs are doing, and then we screw the back on the pedal, and you can't do anything about it. And if it's not the right pedal for your amp or your guitar, then you've just got to go and buy another pedal. So this pedal came out of wanting to leave some of those options open. So you've got a rotary switch here that moves the mid-range downwards and adds in more low end, and then a really nice sort of presence control that lets you decide how much sort of edge and attack is on the note. It was really finding a way to quickly, completely reshape your drive sound to work with a different amp or a different guitar. It's not designed to replicate every overdrive pedal that there is, because what would be the fun in that? But it is designed to let you really quickly get to the sound you've got in your head and get back to playing. The Focus Fuzz, I've made a few versions of this now. There's a germanium version, then this silicon version, and there's the new deluxe version. But again, it was really for people like me who love the sound of vintage fuzz pedals, but find it quite frustrating that to use them I need to have my amp set just so. A really good sounding vintage fuzz with this focus control that pushes more gain into the sort of mids and high mids, so you can really kind of cut through. Other than that, it's just a really user-friendly fuzz. Works into a clean amp or a dirty amp. Humbuckers, single coils, just, you know, no fuss.
The new fuzz we've got, it's full of noise complaints, your neighbours will hate it. It's an LM386 fuzz, among other things. We've got 4 different stages of destruction, an onboard, switchable, filtered tone control. You can also control that with expression, via expression input on the back. Yeah, it's very noisy. I've been told quite a few times I need to start doing something more staple pedals, so I decided to do a big muff. Somewhere in that box there is a big muff circuit, but it got, over the course of R&D, it just kind of got dissolved into everything else, and now you'll be hard pressed to find anything that sounds remotely similar to a big muff in there. It's more of a filtered octave fuzz now. In the heaviest mode, it does like a weird reverse envelope thing. So when your signal starts degrading, your signal will start coming back in hotter again afterwards. So it's sort of like a volume swell. So we're still working on this. It's it's a reverb. At the moment, it's set on minimum, so it's just like a background basic reverb. But the more you crank it up, it starts to interact with the harmonics what you're playing and starts throwing out different sounds and signals at you. And it's another noisy one, but it's a lot tamer actually by comparison to my usual things. So this is the Slow-Fi. It was originally built as a Reddit run, but it's got quite a lot of interest, so we're going to be reissuing it at some point. It's a delay pedal. You've got a second's worth of delay on the slider, so you can crank it ridiculously fast to get loads of pitch bend and noise out of it. There's a built-in modulation, which controls the time, and then there's also a built-in filter that just affects the repeated signal. So you can take out your dry signal, just turn on the filter, modulate your pitch, and it's sort of I'm calling it the demaster system. So rather than improving your signal, it just degrades things, changes things, messes with your pitch, messes with the filter, and it's just a load of fun to play with, really. It's not a standard pedal format, so I figured it's an interactive one.
When will that be available?
Later this year.